Are you having the timer work? Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Z. This is my sign name. I will be teaching the measure of ASL Part 1 and Part 2 tomorrow in the morning and Saturday morning. We'll have classes both days. And I want to explain a little bit about parameters. You know how food has different ingredients in it, and sometimes if you're cooking, you would have a list of ingredients that go into something. For example, here, like on the side of a package, you can see all of the things that are in that package. It's the same concept applied to ASL. ASL has its own ingredients, what they're called parameters, and there are 5 of them. ASL has 5 parameters, but what if I decided not to include one of those parameters? What would happen? Let me show you an example. This is one of the 5 parameters. It happens to be handshake. This is another one, movement. The 3rd one is location. The next one is palm orientation. And the last is facial expression. So if I decided not to have one of those there, they'd all fall over. It would just collapse. It wouldn't make any sense. So it would become like, you know, the fake interpreter that we saw in Africa. And it would be kind of like that guy, you know. We don't want to do that. You know, you just look crazy. So don't let that happen to you. Come and see my class tomorrow morning and Saturday morning. God bless.
Okay, Maddie.
Hello. You don't have to do a show of hands, but I know that the fledglings are here. Maybe some noise? I'm so excited. Really. I'm excited to be here again working with that group. Very excited. We have a lot of fun. We started with very basic of basic. It's just going to be wonderful because don't be intimidated or worried or feel scared, nervous at all. We're going to there will be a lot of hands-on, a lot of things that we're going to incorporate signing with, but start with what you already know. So it's going to be fun. It's a large class. We have 20, maybe 21 people this year. So we have a variety of different groups and ages and everything. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm Lanny. Looking forward to meeting everyone. If we can, the fledglings that are here, if we can meet right over here after this, we're going to do a field trip over to the classroom. I'm going to get a feel for the size and how many people, maybe move the tables a little bit. So if you don't mind, when we're all done, meet right over here. Okay, thanks.
To let you know
But I grew up never meeting a deaf person so I transferred to Canada University. When I went to Canada, they taught me sign English like I am happy to meet all of you. So when I met my classmates, they made fun of me and I just didn't like the feeling of rejection. So I tried to learn ASL, now reading a book, but by watching people how they sign. Now, American Sign Language is really easy to understand if you let go of words, and they will visualize language. So in this class called ASL Demystified, I want to give you a simple formula on how to visualize action and sign based on what you see instead of words. So that will be Friday from 2 to 4. And Annie Pearl. We are both going to join and teach about classifier visualizing. Now, Annie Pearl.
Hello everyone. This is my sign name. I'm Annie Pearl. I was not born deaf, I was born hearing. I became deaf later on. And later on, when I finally met a deaf person, I did not know any sign language. It was very foreign to me. I was like, what is this? And they were so good at it, and I was shocked, and I learned nothing from the experience. I was very scared, and I was homesick. But they were talking to me, and I kept thinking about going home, and that's how I learned ASL. I picked it up, and here I am. So yes, I'm going to be joining Mike for classifiers. Are you excited? It'll be on Saturday from 8 to 10. Come join us. Also, I'm also the chocolate police. I want to see those tickets. If you don't have a ticket, I'm sorry. You got to get out.
Now, you're going to notice I'm serious and she's funny. You'll be a wonderful combination. Come and see what happens. We're going to try to explain how to describe things with the hands without talking. So come and see.
Oh wait, can't see you. Let me move out of your way. Oh, look at this. Can you see? Oh. Oh, all right. Knock it off. You're bad.
Paul Jones.
Hold on just a second. She won't. Oh, I want to take everyone's picture. Everyone wave. Ready? Ready? Keep going. Wave. Everybody move. Keep going. Keep going. Got it. Wait. Okay, I got it. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Oh, wait, this thing's in my face. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, what we're going to do is some of you might want to become interpreters at church one day, or maybe you have been, or you're familiar with the church environment, or you're too nervous to do so. I'll be able to help you make that transition smooth. And maybe the pastor would say, "Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done," and the interpreter standing there going, "Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy will, what do you want?" And I'm going to be able to help you do that, so let's get that figured out. Saturday morning, we're going to talk about ASL for all occasions. The birth of a baby and celebrating that, a wedding, an engagement, the college, university, getting a new job, funerals, all of those type of things. New Year's, Valentine's Day, Easter, Christmas, you know, all of those things, and we're going to talk about those signs for that. Saturday afternoon, in the 1950s, we're going to talk about funny things that happened then until now. We're going to bring them all together, and we're going to talk about the classifiers to do that and how to tell stories through that. And we're going to work together through that. See you guys there.
Hello, I'm Brianna Hall. I'm here from Portland, Oregon. So happy to see lots of you again. I'm going to be teaching in the advanced track for interpreters 3 workshops specific to VRS. So one is going to be repeated twice. I think it's in the chair. And then physical self-care is the other one. So for anyone, interpreter or not, the physical self-care is really we're gonna get into the parts of our bodies that hurt and some simple things that we can do at home for those to take care of ourselves. I like to say too, I'm a sign language interpreter, but I'm also a life coach. So a lot of my workshops are very focused on just how we can take better care of ourselves so we can be in this profession for a long time. So I'd love to see you if you're working on that too.
Hello, hello, hello. When they told me that I had to stand up here and give my name, Patrick said, "Oh, you know, I don't know what to do exactly. I'm Amy Fisher, so here I am." But actually, I'm going to be talking about taxes, business tax preparation, and focusing on how to set up deductions for your taxes so that you can pay less tax. So I'm going to focus on explaining how the various businesses set things up and what interpreters can use as possible deductions. So, and also what you can't use as deductions. So that's what I'm going to do.
Teaching material.
Good news, bad news. The good news is Nigel will make it by tomorrow, and he'll be here to teach everything he's planned to teach. The bad news is he's not here right now. He did send you a message though, and here it is. I regret not being there to introduce myself and to meet you. However, I'm looking forward to seeing the participants in the 3 named workshops. I also look forward to intermingling with everyone. All the best of luck. Enjoy learning from the wonderful professional presenters. Finally, my sincere appreciation for being part of Summit Weekend. Nigel, cheers.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. My name is Clarice Industrious, and I'm going to be doing 2 workshops this year. One we're going to be doing is parables. We're going to be looking at the story part of it, how they are formed, what they are used for, why we use them, what makes them understandable, what makes them not understandable. So we're really going to be dealing a little bit and applying some of the storytelling techniques and some of the things that we see in cinema today, and applying those to your storytelling when you do your parables, because I've been around a long time, and some of them you just don't get what they're trying to say because they're not explained properly. And I've seen young deaf kids get all confused about whether the whale swallowed Jonah or Jonah swallowed the whale. And it's just simply because we as teachers did not explain it correctly. And so that's one of the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be working with parables, looking at them as a mirror, looking at them so that we can understand the lessons, and then we're going to create some parables of our own. Things that you can use to threaten your kids with when they don't do everything that you tell them to do. The other workshop is a little bit more serious. Several years ago, I sat in a workshop with Bill Ross, and he did Interpreting the Dark Side. And I thought to myself, that's a very good topic. It kind of gives you another side to the whole interpreting experience. It's a difficult topic to do. And so I created a workshop because of some of the things that I've been seeing. Again, I've been around a long time. And I created this workshop, and like that workshop, it's a little bit difficult. The workshop is called Poles Apart. It looks at teaming, but it's not teaming in the traditional sense. It has to do with, have you ever met that interpreter that they have the same skill as you? They've got the certifications and everything. You just don't get along with them. And that's not a problem in and of itself. The problem is that my not meshing with this interpreter shows up in the work. Deaf people that have to sit there while we as interpreters argue about who's on and who's off and who's doing what and who's on their phone while. And so we're going to take a look at some of the other parts of interpreting. I also took that particular topic of teaming and I put it together with mentoring, because I view mentoring as the same process. Have you ever met that mentee that just don't mesh with you? Have you ever wondered whether or not you are that interpreter that people talk about? Why don't anybody ever get along with you? What are you doing? So it really allows us to look at ourselves and say, what am I doing? What is there? Oh, I'm done. I'm done.
Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Aidan Pania. I'm one of the presenters, and I present today from 1 to 5 on marauders in the Middle East, talking about the radical groups of a religious thing they call Islam, which is not Islam at all. And as we talked about that, my workshops are highly interactive. Do not attend it if you don't want to be singled out. But when you do my workshops, you will understand about American foreign policy, Russian foreign policy, what's happening in the Middle East, what have you. I had a wonderful audience this afternoon. I enjoyed having you folks. You guys were great. It's highly interactive. Yes, I did write something for dummies, and here at Silent Weekend, the technical editor for the book is here, Paul Reek. Paul, where are you at? He's the technical editor for the book. He's also here at Silent Weekend. He's a phenomenal interpreter, presenter, great business partner. I look forward to working with him constantly. I hope you attend the workshop. A lot of vocabulary, a lot of rich information. I would love to have you. You will be better interpreters after attending these workshops. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bill Ross. I'm teaching here. I know it's hard to believe. And yes, I'm People tell me all the time, "Did you stand up?" And I go, "I am standing." There's only short person wigs here. Okay, now I'm going to choose my time wisely. All right. Clarice, thank you for the promo. I'm teaching the Interpreting the Dark Side this weekend, and if you've ever been to one of my workshops, I say all the time that we don't play well together, and that's the reality. We know about that interpreter. We also have probably been that interpreter. So the idea is, how do we as a community work towards resolving those issues in our own community? And it starts with us, obviously. That's where it begins. So that workshop is going to be one of the things I talk about. Primarily, it addresses the issue of horizontal violence. That is not the only thing that will be talked about in that workshop. One of the things. The second workshop is Mastery of Meaning. That workshop addresses the heart of interpreting, semantics, things that are implied. I'll give you an example really quick. The term "excuse me," we use it for almost everything, and it doesn't matter what words we say, it's how we say them. So for example, if we walk up to the counter and somebody's looking the other direction, we go, "Excuse me," and they turn around. If our significant other is doing something that we don't like, we go, "Excuse me?" And it doesn't matter what we say, it's how we say it. One of the problems that comes across is that sometimes that gets lost in translation.
Yeah.
How do we manage semantics? How do we manage tone? How do we manage implication and inference? That workshop, a lot of practice time. There'll be a lot of stuff that you actually get to practice your hands on, okay? Those are the workshops that I'm teaching.
I had a great group this afternoon and did work on expansion and compression, and that was awesome. The group was great. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing, tomorrow afternoon, I will be teaching Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod, and that workshop is all about prosody. So using pauses, using facial expression, using body movement, trying to learn the ways that deaf people give us those pieces of information. So we'll be working on prosody. On Sunday, I have two workshops. The first one is called Power, Privilege. Yeah. So power, privilege, and oppression. This is a new topic for me, and a new topic that is being talked about now with RID, maybe requiring everybody to have some hours in this particular area. So it's new to me. This is an awareness workshop. So please come and see what that's all about, because I think it's pretty fascinating. And then also on Sunday, the lowdown on the NIC performance. So if you're thinking about taking the NIC performance test, I'll have news, and we'll also see 25, there we go. Oh, it's going the other way. So if you're thinking about taking it, we'll see some actual ideas of what it might look like, and we'll go through that process together, so you'll have a chance to practice the actual skills that they're asking you to do. Okay? See you later.
SILENTWEKEND. It's too much. I need my book. A, B, C, D, oh no, D, and so on. Hi, my name is Jon. understand me? No? Okay. Silent-W-E-K-N-D. Oh, look at all this I'm learning. Wow. Oh, this is great. It's beautiful. Awesome. See this facial expression? That's this class. Yes, it's the Bible and verses from it, and we're going to explain how to interpret all of those and use our facial expressions and expansion and all of that. What is a hardware store? It's like basically expanding on what you see in stores and different things like that. And then the last one here, multiple meaning words. How do you sign all the different words with multiple meanings? You might have one word, but it could mean this, it could mean this, it could mean this, and different meanings to it. So bring your phones. We're going to be using the dictionary. We're going to be calling out some words. Some words have lots of meanings. Thank you. Hi. Hello. Hello. What's your name? Oh, wait, well, hold on. Let me put my glasses on. Okay, tell me again. Wait. I need to write this down. I don't have a piece of paper or a pen or something. Oh, the phone? Maybe I can use that. What time is it now? I have 2 minutes left. Thank you for the information. Okay, everybody. Hello. I said that already. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh. That's the same. You didn't tell me that. What happened to the math workshop and the science workshop? They changed all my stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say that. I said that. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm going to be talking about what I'm doing right now. On the spot. We're going to play with language. If you want to improve the signs on how to play with language, we're going to do that. Facial expressions, using our body movements, plus classifiers. It's going to be great, so come on. Also, I have advanced plus intermediate workshops, and we're going to talk about personal experience and storytelling on how to shift from back and forth to that and learn how to do that, because I'm sure you have many stories, so we're going to teach on that. And a new workshop. This one. Everyone stop smiling. I see you smiling. You know, have you ever gone into the store and looked at the wine rack and see all those wines and you're like, what? And you feel overwhelmed and you don't know which one to take? It's like taking Winks and Patrick and Tom's workshop. You just overwhelmed, you have no clue. It's the same thing. But don't worry, I'm going to save your life. I'm going to be teaching everything, except we're not going to be drinking wine. Sorry. But come on out, enjoy it. We're going to explain it all to you. I have 12 seconds left. I'm going to give my 12 seconds to Wayne. Oh, you see this thing? How many of you truly have, well, how many of you guys been on Instagram and have Instagram? Raise your hand. How many of you become depressed after scrolling through Instagram because you're jealous of all the different mountain scenes and the cool stuff that people are going and lakes and all that, and you wish that you were there, that person? I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to teach you how to camp. I brought a tent. I brought cooking stuff. I brought everything, a sleeping pad, a sleeping bag. So when you leave my workshop, you'll be that Instagram person and making the other people depressed. And it won't be you. It'll be good therapy for you. Also, I'm going to be teaching about American history. How many of you actually have sang the Star-Spangled? How many of you actually know what it means? There's several of you.
I don't know what ramparts
So we're going to
are.
talk about the history and have some fun. I love history, and maybe I'll be my campfire with s'mores during that American history class. You never know. Come on out. Hello. My name? Patrick. My sign name is what? Yeah, okay, but I'm a little like on the fence. It might be this because I have a couple fangs on my teeth. See these here? True story. Amy's my wife. Our daughter, she's 4. She tells stories that, like, I have fangs, I'm a vampire, just like my dad. And soon I'm gonna grow wings. But really, this is my sign language. So, the point is, I'm going to be teaching a workshop on what? Fact or fiction. It's related to deaf history and the community, and I'm going to ask a question here. Is it true or false? Gallaudet University, the person who established it, Thomas Gallaudet. Is that true or false? I'm waiting on the answer. Take my workshop and I'll tell you if it's true or false. Don't say yes or no now. Come to my workshop and you'll find the answer. The second one here is brand name signs. For example, Nike. I wrote what the deaf community has used, recorded it. This is one of them for Nike, or this. So there's different ones for different brands. So we'll talk about that. The top 20 errors that ASL students make. I've been teaching for 20 years. I've made documentation of it. Plus, it also includes how to address living in the deaf world, the conflicts that we have, and there's some comedy in that, and also learning deaf culture while we're doing it. Multiple meanings. You know, my nose is running. My nose is running. I gotta touch my nose, it's running away. It's running. Mr. Shinyhead presents a storytelling extravaganza. It's thematic ASLs, more body language, comedy as well, heart, fear. You know, before you go to bed at night, you're scared, and you can blame Patrick, that's all right, I'm sorry about that. But, you know, also, we will have different, I'm not counting. Oh, 3, 2, 1, I'm out. Hello, I'm Jose. Welcome to Orlando. This is my new sign for Orlando. Orlando. So tonight, it's like a private conversation, okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And then we're going to be talking about deaf and gay historical facts and linguistics and the perspective of it. Classifiers. Oh wait. I think finger spelling is up there, maybe. This is the visual. Visualize.
There's a picture in the mind.
This is the picture in mind. North, east, west, west, south. Where are we? Goodbye. Oh, this last one. You know the alphabet, finger spelling. Okay. E. Make sure we close that finger up. Get that finger out. Make sure we're looking back here. Oh man, he's got me laughing. I'm crying. I'm Jen Linsky. I'm from Boston, Mass. Who's here from New England? One person? Oh, we just moved in. Oh, over here we got some. Great. So this is a fairly new workshop. Generations have changed in technology. Like, for example, the telephone. Back in the day, the sign used to be telephone. And it's evolved to telephone. And today is what? We're going to talk about that. There's so many variations with the computer and all of that stuff. That'll be that workshop. For intermediate level, we're going to be talking about finger spelling, more along the lines of words that we finger spell that don't have a sign, and some do have a sign, or that are strongly signed in the rules of that. So we'll be talking about that in an intermediate class. The next one is number tune-up, related to which is first, second, third, ordinal, who won, that sort of thing. For beginners, I know that there can be some struggle in finger spelling on the perception and expressive skills, like CH, have that movement of CH, or ING, ST, ooh and E, and things like that. So it's just good practice. Again, ASL tune-up for beginners, for numbers. And I'm done. Oh, I gotta go. See ya. Julie. Hello, everyone. My name is Julie. This is my sign name. This is my first time here presenting. Thank you all. I'm from New Mexico. I'm curious, do you like theater? Raise your hand. You guys don't count. Anybody else? Oh, that's good. These guys, forget it, they know it all. If you took my workshop, you would not even need it. Okay, so improv really would help you feel more comfortable with your facial expressions, your body movement, and creating new things. If you don't know the sign for a certain thing, we're going to act it out, gesture it out, and get the visualization. It's very similar to the visualization concepts in the picture. We'll play a game as well. Anyone in here parents to deaf children? There's a few of you. This workshop is just about learning different ideas related to reading skills, to improve that. Signing, telling the story compared to actual receptive learning of English and text, and the separation of those, and how to interpret text into ASL with the eye contact and the body movement and things on the body shifting, different questions that they could read to you and things like that. So we'll read stories together, get ideas, and have a discussion. I think, wait. Again, I'll be talking about improv. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I just came here from Wisconsin. It's hot, it's muggy, my clothes are sticking to me. Copy me. Copy me. Oh, everybody doing all right? Okay, now turn it this way. Oh. We need practice so that we can get these skills. After these workshops, you're going to have it. I I'm giving 5 different workshops. Understanding the 8 types of classifiers, meaning splitting them, which is classifier, and which field it goes to, and which direction that it applies to sign language. Personification. You know, we use the ball, the activity where we just see the personification of it and understand it. Also, we're going to be another workshop, vocabulary in ASL. It's in an education field, and I've been to a lot of schools. It's interesting. RID is certified, licensed, the top, and EIPA interpreting comparatively. If you switched them, they both suck. There's no transliteration for children. Now, if EIPA went to RID, it would be confusing. So this is a workshop to see both points of view from all vocabulary and be able to cross-reference both of them. For the next one, you know, sports. Who's into sports that's interpreters? There's 2 or 3 or 4. Come on down to my workshop and learn some terminology. Deaf people who change the world. You know, we hear about the common ones, but the really famous people who did not actually become famous that are in deaf history that has changed the world that may apply to you, and how to turn it into ASL and be able to discuss it. Those are my workshops. Am I good? See ya. Hi, everybody. Hey. That's me. I'm doing this. I'm going to be introducing a workshop. Oh. Last year that really took off, and I hope it's a good opportunity for you to come and see not just how to tell a story, but also engage children in terminology and visually for children. ASL for Geeks, this is my 3rd year presenting. It's different topics every year. 2 years ago we did Star Wars. Last year we did Harry Potter. This year, comic books. So I expect to see Milo. I'll see you guys over there. Really, how can you really not just expand, but also all paralinguistics, body movement, the whole shift to boost your vocabulary. This is intermediate classes, classifiers. A lot of people give classifiers. I can't really say my workshop is better than you. Really, just go to any classifier workshop. If you show up to mine, you're welcome. If you go to others, I hope you enjoy yourself because everybody needs them. Beginners, we're going to be talking about visually, not just vocabulary, the word specifically, but also just visually how to make it successful. Tonight I will be performing my Prom Mania light because I will be performing without sign language. I want to make sure that you all could watch something and enjoy it, including fledgling. So once you take your tour, come back here and watch the show. This is accessible for all levels, from fledgling to advanced. Hope to see you there. Saturday night, we will have ASL Oleo. You notice like some of them had that on their little screens because some of us will be performing for you on stage, doing stories, improv, poetry, and maybe you'll be involved too. Basically, it's just playing on stage for your enjoyment. And I'm done. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. 3 years ago, when I came with my parents. And some of you have never forgotten. Because every year since then, people have been coming up to me and saying, oh, are your parents here? No. Dang it. I feel a little like, today I got here at the hotel and I got out of the car and immediately my glasses got foggy. Get out. And I grabbed my bags and I'm coming in and the door's open. And I'm not going to tell you who it was. But someone came up to me and said, "Hey, are your parents here?" So I decided to ask, "Hey, are you here to see me, or do you really just want to see my parents?" And their answer was, "Oh, either." I'm here for Peter. So my mother's invited, but she couldn't come. But my father is not invited. Oh no. The reason why, since I was about 8 years old, growing up, I had this one favorite mug. And it was Spider-Man mug. It had the logo on it. And my father accidentally broke it. And he repaired it and he fixed it and it looked shiny and clean. The problem was, the logo said, "Man Spider." So, if you see Smith, that's me. It doesn't say Wink, it says Smith. And I have 4 series of workshops, but each stands alone. You can come to any of them. Thank you. 11, 10, 9, 8. Where's that stick? Give me that thing.
Good luck picking a class I'll be doing. Anyway, class will begin at 9 o'clock. So,
Ha 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 ha!